besties are back.
We'll let your winners ride.
Rain Man David Sack.
We open source it to the fans, and they've just gone crazy.
Markets. What are we going to do, guys? We need to look into this because apparently Justin Sun, are you kidding me? Justin Sun is looking to buy FTX. We got CPI reading in a couple of hours. Hope you guys are joining me live for that as well. But just before we jump on for a little bit beforehand to discuss the latest event since we spoke last night. So don't forget to smash up the likes, guys. We're going to spend some time here in the charts. Throw your questions in the chat and we'll try to cover off as many as possible. As always, don't forget to check out the links in the description. If you haven't started the TA course, make sure you've done that. Make sure you're in our Discord, all that sort of good stuff. But look at Bitcoin, guys. So we were watching this together yesterday. We pretty much caught the bottom when we did a bit of buying, right? We got there down to 1550, recovered back into the rectangle we were speaking about, and now going to retest the 16,200 level, which is where we're hovering at now, is that horizontal level which it needs to hold for support. Remember, after this, things get quite painful. Not much support up until 14,000 in terms of major support, unless it wants to create some new support. But now, the wider effects have been felt by all the markets, right? When we were discussing this yesterday, we were like, yeah, but the Asian markets need to come in. And I think that's what finally led us down to that 1550 level. And now we're just trying to see, okay, where do we sit from here? And there's a few different updates today, which I do want to walk through. The first one came from Kobe on Twitter, who shared apparently some leaked messages from Sam Bankman-Fried on the FTX internal Slack. So feel free, I retweeted this, so feel free to go read it on my Twitter page. But in essence, the main things he's saying is, look, he wants to focus on returning customer funds. He thinks he can find a solution in terms of raising money. And more importantly, if you just see right there at the bottom, as one part of the potential above raise, we have had talks with Justin Sun, as Twitter broke. Details forthcoming here. Now, Justin Sun is the founder of Tron, and that's like putting it lightly. If you guys want to know exactly about Justin Tron, I've made a video about it. Go search it on my channel. But also, read this article, right? It's from The Verge. Type in The Verge Justin Sun on Google, and you'll find this, and go and read it. It's a long, long read, but that's going to give you everything you need to know about who Justin Sun is. So, two bads doesn't make a right, and I was shocked when I read this. Like, this is the last thing the crypto space needs. If Sam Bankman-Fried had all these ill intentions, which are coming to light right now, then that he needs to go through due process. We need to find out in a court of law if he's actually gone and done those things. And I don't think he should be given a chance back in crypto, right? If all these things that are being claimed right now, in terms of damaging projects, in terms of obviously misusing customer funds, this is bad, right? It's not great. It's not a great look. And one of the things which makes that even more obvious is how quickly CZ backed out from the due diligence process. If anybody knows anything about corporate acquisitions, you take your time doing due diligence, and being there for it was pretty much less than a day in reality before the news started leaking that CZ was not going to go ahead with it, Binance were not going to go ahead with the deal. It shows you that there would have been a lot of mess in there. To add to that, you've had chief legal officers leaving as well, which just goes to show that, you know, FTX is in bad shape. They're up to no good, and this is just the start. All that information is going to leak out over time. Lemaine, good to see you. Can you explain what's going on with Tether? We'll come on to that. Ken Chua, hey, good to see you. Brandon, good to see you. Old man, indeed. Dragonfire, what's good, buddy? Steven, let's go. Daniel, good to see you. You're waiting for me. Appreciate you, buddy. Will smaller central exchanges like BYBIT be at risk from major market panic? We're going to come on to that, and the answer to that question is yes. I want all of you guys to be prepared for anything to collapse. Please heed my warning. Please get onto cold storage, guys. Any exchange can collapse. Now, we do not know. I cannot tell you which exchange out there is struggling right now, but there will be exchanges struggling that haven't admitted it yet. Whether it's KuCoin, whether it's MEXC, whether it's BYBIT. I don't want to defame any of these, but what I'm saying is I'm trying to give you the example. It could be any, right? Who would have expected FTX to be in this trouble? So let alone other exchanges. So please be very, very mindful of that and understand what's going on. Scam Bankman fraud. Nicely done. Sun is a fool. Wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole, but hey, guess it's good news for crypto unless Sun retracts also. I don't know if it's good news for crypto, right? Like sometimes you fall for this short-term gain versus longer-term pain, right? You got two people who are very, very shady characters operating in the crypto space and saving each other. In the immediate future, you get to save your earnings, right? If you left your money on FTX, but longer term, what effect does that have on crypto? Two wrongs don't make a right. Frauds on the KuCoin FUD. All exchanges are going to get FUD recently or now, so just be very, very careful. If you're unsure, take your money off those exchanges. If you see a little bit of FUD about one of the exchanges and you feel uncomfortable how much money you have on that exchange, get it out. Really, really important. Sam, great job and consistency. Appreciate you. Barney, morning all. Guys, we're going to do our main live stream at about 1:15, so my time. So that's in the next kind of 2 hours-ish. I've put the link there, so go set yourself a reminder on that. We will be covering off the CPI reading. I just want to do a bit of a pre-show with you guys to understand what we're expecting from CPI. Now, if we come on to CPI, we're expecting this figure, this 8.2 figure, to come down to 8. On headline inflation. If we don't, markets are going to lose their rank, right? If you look at the US markets, they already had a really bad day yesterday. They were getting slammed yesterday. I mean, yesterday, NASDAQ closed 2.5% down. You had S&P down 2%. Dow Jones down almost 2% as well. So it was a really painful day for the markets. Look at the pre-market as well, opening up slightly green, but again, they're just waiting on the midterm, and plus they're waiting on the CPI reading. Now, I think the CPI reading can move markets. It just depends what's going on crypto at the time in the next 2 hours. So I don't think it's going to create a massive run. I just think we can avoid more pain with a decent CPI reading. So the last thing we want now is for CPI to be a final blow, right? To give us another sendback to create a lower low below 1550. If we can get out of the CPI reading above 1550, good news, right? And I think we need a reading above, lower than 8 or on 8 to avoid that. You know, and the good scenarios here post CPI is, can we do something like this? Even if we can trigger sideways, what I don't want to see is this. And I think if we get a reading higher than 8, I think that's where that's going to happen, okay, on CPI. And we do not want to see that. We don't need to add more fuel to this bonfire right now. It's the last thing we need. A few other things I wanted to clarify with you. We've got this, right? Satoshi Stacker posted this, gave the sources Hoiby Research, saying that these are some of the projects that could be affected, right? These are some of the projects that FTX have investment in. And he put Phantom right at the top, which is very interesting. Straight away, I messaged Simone, who's the head of the CMO over at Phantom, and he clarified very nicely on Twitter, so I appreciate that, Simone. And he said, look, while they did invest 35 million in 2021, they dumped all of it shortly after. The wallets have been circulating. And this is why I said, in these moments, it's, you know, in the good times, I remember when we were posting videos about Phantom, everybody said, oh yeah, this is so bad, they have no VC funds. And this was exactly one of the reasons I wanted to invest in Phantom. Apart from the fact that I saw it undervalued, I knew one of the reasons it was undervalued was because nobody of power respected Phantom. No VCs cared, no Sam Bankman-Fried cared, no CZ cared. None of these guys, these big guys, no Do Kwon, none of these guys, no Suzu, none of these guys cared about it, which is why the valuation was so cheap, and which is why I saw it as a hidden gem. Now, that comes with a double-edged sword, right? Yes, it's a hidden gem, but it means it's harder for it to get any runs, which is why people get frustrated with Phantom. But now look what happened to Solana, which was, you know, the billionaire gem, which everybody cared about, rose all the way up, but it's more likely to crash. I want slow, steady growth. I want organic growth. I don't want people to be on a pedestal. If I see that happening, I just don't like it, right? It's inorganic, and I don't need one of those people to be. If your project is good and the tech is good, it should be standalone. It should be able to figure it out on its own. It shouldn't need you guys trying to pump that, right? It shouldn't need it. So good. Thank you, Simone, for clarifying that one for us. Really appreciate that. What else do we have? We need to look at the Fed rate monitor tool. This is the percentage which we're going to need to monitor here, because what you can see is this is slightly notched down a little bit, okay, because we had redness in the market. So the redness in the market yesterday was people starting to unwind the expectation that we're going to see 50 basis points. Now we're getting closer to level here. The market is unsure if we're going to get 75 basis points or we're going to get 50. And basically what they're saying is we need to see the CPI reading before we can vote either way. So expect some movement after this data to set a direction on what we're going to. Okay, so Bitcoin heading here. We can see here Bitcoin sitting comfortably at our support level just above 16,240. Now, we didn't make this support level up. If you guys were on the live stream yesterday, you will know where we got that support level from, and you date that back to the previous markets, and you can see the area of resistance around those levels. That's where we picked it up from. Now, if we zoom back in, so we can skip all those horrible lines. Now, what we need to see is us try to build some strength, right? Try to build some strength and stop the bleeding. That is the first point to call. It's not about just doing this. Now, that's very unlikely. It's not about doing this. It's about just stopping the bleeding, taking our time, seeing where we're at, finding any of the dead bodies and seeing who still survived and working our way back up, right? This was a huge crash yesterday, and we need to figure this out. Now, Ethereum did all right. Congrats if you managed to get it close to 1,000. It reminded me to give you guys a little tip. So I was setting my limit orders yesterday before I went to bed as well, set a bunch. Most didn't trigger. But when I was doing it, it reminded me of a little tip for you guys. When you set your limit orders, never set your limit orders at whole numbers, right? This is such an amateur move. Like, so many people set their limit orders. Oh, I want to buy Ethereum at 1,000. And they set it exactly at 1,000. Now, if you just set it at 1,093, right? You get triggered here. You get triggered, right? This candle came down to 1,071. So in essence, we were right when we said Ethereum's going to come down to 1,000. Right? You've got to always set your limit orders in rough ranges. Very important, because that's what happens. Price gets moved. It never touches whole numbers, and then it goes. Same if you're taking trades, right? Never take your trade exactly at the price target. Always take your profit a little bit beforehand. And same with stop losses. Just be a little smart with it, guys. You've got people hunting stop losses. So make sure you know what you're doing. That's important. And maybe I should add that as a lecture to the course as well. Stephen, good morning to you. Kieran, hope you are well. Who else have we got? Black Sun. KuCoin will not release my 5k USDC. I had to buy 5k of Cardano, send it to Coinbase, and then convert it back to USDC. Well done for doing that. At least you're creative enough to do that. Good morning, fellas. Ian, good to see you. No signal. Oh, man, always on fire. Appreciate you guys. Don't forget to smash up the like button. We're nearly at 12k subscribers, actually. So if any of you watching this are not subscribers, please do hit up the subscribe button and be one of those that help me get to 12k. Now, Ethereum covered off. Solana, look at Solana now down at 14. Another big 4-hourly candlestick here. Let's put it in the hourly. So you can see here, the last couple of hours have been pretty weak here. Looks like it's curling off for another move to the downside. It got to as low as $11 last night on Solana. So Solana's still feeling the pinch. Again, a whole bunch of unlocks expected today. Let's see how that plays out. But I think a lot of people sold ahead of that, right? Trying to preempt it. Big green day here for Phantom, recovering 7%. But again, I'm expecting all of these coins to just curl over again. This is just a little bit of a cooling off. The bears had such a big push down on all of these altcoins in the wider market yesterday. Just expecting another test to come test the lows on the wider crypto market before we're out of this mess. Now, I don't really like the whole Justin Sun news. I think it's just a waste of time. I don't think he's actually going to do anything. Said a bunch of stuff before about other acquisitions. Never follows through with actually doing anything. One, I don't want to see it anyway from an integrity point of view. But two, I just think it's a waste of time. It's going to get the market excited for no reason, and then it's going to downside. Let's keep an eye on the Tether peg as well. And again, you can see what I'm saying. And I guess a lot of people are kind of ignoring this. And yes, they can, but that's not to be ignored, right? People can say I'm spreading FUD. I'm not, because I'm not really banging on the rooftop about this. I just want you guys to be very aware, because I don't really care about what, you know, the wider population do. We've got a couple of people in this community. I want to make sure you guys are staying safe. If you've got a whole bunch of net worth in Tether, please be careful. That's all I'm saying. Please be careful. And you're grown up. You can figure out the rest from here, right? And the only reason I'm saying that is not because, well, actually, I do doubt Tether. I've doubted them for a long time. I made many videos about it. And to be fair to them, up till now, they've proven me wrong. They've done a decent job, right? They've managed to always redeem during these tough times. But times are getting even tougher. Bitcoin in this cycle has not been this low. We could have another flush out, guys. And remember, if you're falling 80% on Bitcoin, let's just so if you're falling 80%, let's do that from 69,000 falling down 20% left, right? So that's a 13,800 Bitcoin. If you're falling 85% retracement from all-time high, that brings you to about 10,300, right? So those are the levels you're looking at. Is can we get to that 14,000 level, just about slightly lower, 13,800? And then if it's an 85% retracement, which we've seen in previous bear markets as well, it gets you to 10,000. So nothing is out the realms of previous bear markets just yet, so there's no reason to be completely scared, but this is coming to the final inning. This is the painful bit where either you survive or you capitulate, and there's no two ways about it, right? This is what the bear market's made of. That's what it does, and that's what no other asset class has, is these terrible, painful, deep 85% retracements where it's literally the end of the world. Everything is collapsing, projects are collapsing, companies are collapsing, and it's painful. And that's why we focus so much on risk management, like Sam Bankman-Fried. Ian, just DCA'd as normal. Keep calm, carry on. Good lad. Ian, you're a great example of somebody who's really calm and pragmatic in this community. I've seen you through high prices and low prices in the community, and you've always exercised a level of calmness, and that's the right thing to be doing. To analyze the data, stay calm, Don't panic and hold your conviction. Always key. Sounds boring, but it's. Shark says it's time to do a video on Atom. Is it? ETH possible to retest to 900 again? 900 is very possible for ETH, particularly if Bitcoin obviously falls back below 1550. Just a quick question. In percentage, how much of your money do you have in market? Not actually calculated the latest percentage. I guess the rule of thumb I always use for people is if you're starting fresh in crypto, put 1% of your net worth in crypto, not financial advice. And then what you find is once they start learning about crypto, and this is the same thing I did, I put up to 5% of my net worth. But now it's just far more, right? It's gone well past 10, 15%. But I wouldn't exercise that for everybody. It's just that's the line of work I find myself in, and I spend time in crypto. I feel comfortable doing that. But for the average Joe who's a carpenter or a real estate agent, something else, if you're not disproportionately spending a lot of time in crypto, I think 5, 10, 50K, again, depending on your net worth. And the smaller your net worth, the more you can afford, I guess, to put into crypto because you want some of the higher returns. That's also the catch-22 because you're never going to build a big enough egg and have meaningful growth of your portfolio. So it's a whole long conversation we can have on a separate live stream. But it's a good question. Okay, Shark is saying Solana to $5. Potentially, we'll have to see how the unlocks fold out. That's a long way now. It's easy to just shout out numbers, but we need to be careful. Ian Barefoot, good channel growth for a bear market. When the hordes of tourists show up for the bull market, you're in a real good shape to be a top 5 channel in space. Appreciate you, Ian. That's really kind. And I guess the reality is, as long as we're posting content which is real, that's the yardstick for which I measured the success of this channel, right? I just want to make sure I'm providing you guys with a different view of the market as opposed to what the Moon Boys are providing. There's no value for me posting a video right now saying Bitcoin's going to 5,000, panic, and tomorrow when it's green, Bitcoin's 100,000. There's a few channels that do provide that level-headed content, and I just think that needs to become the move, especially when you've got mavericks in the space. Even our billionaires are not setting a good example. Somebody has to. That's important. Ian says, I learned it from you, man. I used to be glued to every move, always stressing, etc. Set a time horizon, make a plan, and execute the Ijaz method, more or less. Agree. Absolutely. And if you look at our live stream yesterday, what did I do? In the midst of the panic, I took out my phone and I DCA. Follow my conviction. Show you guys, look, I'm not just saying this to preach. I'm doing it. In the midst of the fear and greed, everybody's fearful when it feels like everything is going to collapse. Got to execute on that. Crypto Soul Man, on that net worth question, how do you calculate your net worth? Hello, by the way. There's so many ways of measuring net worth, crypto. That's a whole nother video in itself. Maybe we should do a little bit more entrepreneurial content. Maybe open it up to our private live stream. One a week, maybe, kind of net worth, stocks, how I think about it. That could be lots of ways to calculate net worth. For example, I've got a modest size software company. Got to value that, right? And you do it based on a multiple of EBITDA, which is the probability. So calculating net worth is difficult. Not a way of dodging the question. It's just very difficult. Why nobody knows the true net worth of any major mogul. If you are not in USDT, what are you stocking your cash? I've covered this off a lot of times, no signal. So I'm not saying that I'm not in USDT. I'm in Tether. What I'm saying is you've got to be diversified in everything. So first, I would be asking myself, why do I have so much stablecoin? Do I need it? Why is it sat there? Is it sat there because I'm just sat on there? Do I have a plan to eventually buy the dip? Why am I sat on stablecoins? If in the near future I'm sat to buy the dip, then I'm setting limit orders, right? Fine. If I'm not and the stablecoins are just sat there, then I need to ask myself, why have I not moved this back to fiat currency? Because at least with fiat currency, you're FDIC insured. If you're in the US, in the UK, you have similar schemes where the banks protect your money. Fine. I know it's not ideal, but Web3 is not completely there yet. Let's be real, right? I know a lot of us hate the traditional finance, but let's be smart here. Then I'm saying, okay, let's say X percentage I need to keep on the exchanges for trading. I need it for limit orders. Fine. Then I'm saying if that amount is whatever, $10,000, go and split it. Right? Have some in Tether, have some in USDC, have some in BUSD, mix it up, right? So that way you've not got huge exposure to Tether. If Tether collapses tomorrow, you're okay. Also, same with exchanges. If that 10,000 you've got sat all on one exchange like FTX, you're in trouble. Split it out. Put some in BYBIT, put some in BitGet, put some in Binance, put some in Coinbase maybe. If you hate Coinbase, don't. But pick a couple that you like. Just spread it out, right? Just that's, I'm not sure how that's so complicated. I know it's a nuisance. You've got to take care of your funds. You're grown-ups. Okay. Such a mocker. What's going on with DAI? Not looking at it, but you're going to get a lot of FUD, guys. Not a lot of FUD. You're going to get a lot of FUD, but you're going to get some truth as well. Like, projects are going to struggle. Bitcoin falling to 1550 yesterday, and if it goes back down there again after CPI, expect pain. And like, when I say pain, expect this project coming out saying, oh, we're struggling for liquidity. Expect this exchange saying we're struggling as well. Expect this fund saying we're struggling. Like, it's not going to be easy. What did I retweet? I retweeted a little while ago, if I find it, that people are having exposure. Up. Here you go. Sequoia Capital, one of the biggest funds out there, had to mark down 213 million FTX investment to zero. Do you think all these things don't have consequences? Of course it does. The tentacles from which Alameda and FTX had, where they had their tentacles, it's huge. It was everywhere. Okay, so let's not think we're through the worst of it. No, it's only going to unwind, and I think it's going to be a painful couple of weeks, and we just got to navigate through it. We need to stop the bleeding to the downside and navigate through it. My plan is if we head over down to 14,000, great, I'm nibbling. If we're heading down to 10,000, I'm nibbling. Because remember, at 10,000, roughly, we just did the math together. At this 10,000 level, you're talking an 85% correction. That is now similar to previous bear markets, and that's a painful, deep correction. That is a proper bear market, right? We're getting there, but that's the room you got to go, and that's going to be a painful move from there to there. A lot of people who thought they would never capitulate will capitulate there. And it's when you get that you're finally ready to formulate your bear market. Now, another thing I want to remind you guys of, I think people are misunderstanding this. Let's get a slightly cleaner chart. Let's take this chart, for instance. Okay, you had your run up, right, in the previous bull market to 20,000. You then came down. Okay, now when you came down here, you come all the way to formulate your lows at around 3,000. So let's say we form our lows on Bitcoin. Where is it? We don't know. Let's, for argument's sake, say it's 10,000, right? So you form your lows. Then after that, you don't just run into your next bull market. That's not what happened. We ran up to here, the 14,000 level. Then we got rejected again, came as far down as 4,000. Then we ran up again, right? And then finally we merged into our next bull run. Okay, very important. That came around the pandemic period where there was a lot of money printing going. So, to put that into context of where we are at, we need to bottom. Then we need to work our way sideways. Maybe we have a attempted run. Don't get all the way there. We come back down. Then we could potentially have our roaring bull market. Okay, so I just want to make sure people understand how the cycles work, because a lot of people are just thinking this is going to happen. Oh, look, we're going to go down to 10, have a visit, pick up some passengers, and boom, straight off to 100. Come on, guys. Not as simple as that. If it was, everybody would be loaded. Mr. Got Plenty, gang. Yes, interesting you mentioned that. Fear ingredient is not low at all. It's at 22. And again, markets are, this is weird. I'm not too sure. I would have expected this to be a lot lower given the fright. Maybe it's going to leak in over the next couple of days. But yeah, a lot of the market is still quite confident, which is very interesting. Shark, don't forget to like the videos. You're absolutely right. Guys, a bunch of you in here. Please do hit up the like. Only 30 likes on this live stream. That is just mean, guys. You guys are just mean. I promise you're gonna, like, if the stream gets worse, just unlike it. It's fine. You can do it. It's reversible. Also, guys, if you aren't subscribed, please do subscribe. I don't normally screen for subscribers, but please, let's get to 12,000 subscribers on this horrible occasion that is FTX. So yeah, breaking news today was that, look, Justin Sun's trying to do something, right? Justin Sun, dodgy guy. Go read this Verge article. Go read this. You understand what he's about. It's a long read, but skim read through it. You get the idea of the amount of shady stuff this guy's been doing for many a year in crypto. Many a year. So for him to be sitting down with Sam Bankman-Fried, who's also coming out as this shady guy, that's not good. So whilst I want people's funds to be protected, this type of collaboration could be the end of crypto. Right? Horrible. So we don't want to see that. We don't want to see them working together. We also had some of the FUD around Phantom, which we covered off. Some people were saying, oh, look, FTX had so much in Phantom. And I got the CMO to clarify this. I sent him it. He tweeted it kindly for me, responding, saying they did invest 35 million in Phantom, dumped it all shortly after, so they don't have much exposure now, which is good news there on Phantom. If Tether crashes, I think it'll be much. Oh yeah, Tether crashing would be worse than FTX, right? Tether crashing would be up there as like doomsday. Binance and Tether, like those two things you put in the same card. I'd say Coinbase will be in the same level as FTX. Market could pretty much absorb that, but Tether, or Binance, yeah, like nightmare. And you know, we just have to hope those kind of things don't happen. I still hold my reservations on Tether, but so far they've proven me wrong. Let's hope they can continue to have their backing. They've had enough warnings now to make sure they got enough funds. I'd like to see more transparency, right? I just want to see their data a bit. We can have some peace. Omar, good to see you, buddy. Ijaz, you look rested and refreshed. Well, I'm still pretty tired, actually. We got to crack on. We got to do this live stream. We got to do CPI. Markets keep us awake. Johnny Freeman, USDC versus USDT. Great question. I made an amazing video about stablecoins. Type in my name in stablecoins. I made a really in-depth video about stablecoin versus the other. So spend 5 minutes watching that, and definitely that knowing a bit more about stable. Martin Zabella, hello friend, back at work I see. Yes, we don't stop here, guys. We got to keep providing you guys the content. Guys, you smash up the like button and let me give you the updates on what we are expecting. So remember, what are the updates we've got so far? Binance reversing out of the FTX deal, right? Justin Sun apparently trying to come in. Sam Bankman-Fried is not giving up according to leaks, right? We've seen the leaks from his Slack chat that he's coming out saying, I'm trying to raise funds. Now, do I think he's going to manage it? No. And if he doesn't, what are the next steps? Well, the next steps would be he'd have to file Chapter 11 bankruptcy. I'm not a specialist at bankruptcy in the US, but I'm pretty sure it's Chapter 11, which will allow him some time to restructure. So in other words, he can pause withdrawals, done anyway, and he can make sure that he can try to see what he can do. It'll buy him some time. It's going to be very similar to the Celsius issue. If you guys have funds in there, I'm really sorry, but it's going to be really hard to get out. Do I expect you will get some eventually? Yes, I think you'll get a percentage similar to Celsius, right? They'll calculate how much they can give back and then work out a percentage of funds everybody can get back. But you know, it's a painful time. And if you hopefully you manage to get our warning calls and get out a couple of days before this collapse, and if you did, congrats. Those of you who were either stubborn or didn't get a chance to or couldn't logistically, it's a tough lesson that we need to split our funds. Look, we've all done that before. I've done it. I know I've been irresponsible and kept a bunch on a certain exchange, but the learning lessons. And sometimes you hope you learn without pain, but sometimes you have to learn with pain, right? Hopefully, even if nothing has happened to you, you still take the learning from other people's mistakes and make sure you keep too much on any one given exchange. Yes, real one. Good to see you. Yes, Rich. Thoughts on Nexo? No thoughts. I would be worried about them. Like, I don't like the type of model, right? So Celsius, Nexo, these guys, BlockFi. Don't like them. They're going to get exposed. Reading FUD about Sam Bankman-Fried involved in a big way in USDT. Yeah, I mean, obviously, his tentacles are going to be everywhere, right? A lot of people are saying that a bunch of FUD about Sam Bankman-Fried. I mean, the guy from Tether came out and said no. I mean, here, look. Put it up. Be clear, Tether does not have any exposure to FTX or Alameda. Zero, no. So this is saying that way round, right? He doesn't hold any Tether, FTX or Alameda, but do they hold Tether? I mean, and if so, are they going to be dumping that? And what could it cause? We don't know. Here you go. Alameda has issued and redeemed a lot of USDT in the past, but no credit exposure. But Tether is issued and redeemed upon market demand by our. I don't see that being too much of an issue. I think that's a bit more FUD-like. Okay, so hello, Ijaz. Liked. Have I missed much? Yes. What you've missed is that Justin Sun is apparently trying to broker some sort of saving deal for FTX. Do I think it's going to go ahead? No. I think this is shock. I think it's horrible. I don't like it. I don't like the concept of it, and yeah, I don't think any good can come from it. I know immediately if you got money stuck in FTX, you want somebody to come and save the funds, but Justin Sun is like again, I encourage you to go read the article. Hard for me to summarize the thing until you read this and kind of stuff. Yeah, let's keep an eye on Bitcoin here on the 5-minute chart. We're getting on here, showing some decent support, a couple of good 5-minute candles here, trying to show that we're basing out. Try to create higher lows. Higher highs to uptrend out of here. But again, we're just going to kind of be a bit volatile heading into high in the next half hour and 40. Martin says, be safe. I wouldn't trust Nexo or any other. And guys, look at the theme, right? What is the theme? The theme of these collapses is over leverage. It's greed, right? Now, fortunately, I'm in a position where my religion doesn't allow us to leverage, right? It doesn't allow us to do those things. But even if I didn't, even if I wasn't religious, you can see everything is all greed is created from leverage, and vice versa, right? So you've got to be very, very careful when you're taking customers' funds and you're leveraging it. This is where the collapses occur. There'll be no such thing as, and I learned this from traditional finance. This is not even to do with crypto. This is just the basic tenets of how the existing financial system is failed. It's all built on leverage. It's all built on debt. It's all built on bonds. All built on making money out of fresh air, right? Where there's no value tied behind it. And this is why you get liquidity crunches. This is why you had the 2008 financial crisis. This is why we're having these issues now when Bitcoin, when everything's fine when the price is high, everything's fine when the sun is out. When the stormy clouds come in, you find out there's liquidity issues everywhere because the money's not there, it's there, and it's been passed on to there, and it's been loaned over there, and it's not here. Nobody can track anything because they create this concoction of a mess just for greed, just for extra money. When in reality, you need to make sure that, I can't remember what I just said. I just read a comment here. Just tuned in. Your thumbnail got me interested. Yeah, because Justin Sun is apparently trying to buy it, and we covered that off. Scroll back a little bit and you can get an idea of what we just said on the live stream. My microphone is cutting off. I think it's because I'm turning around. I'll stop doing that. I'll stop turning around. My sound is dipping. Is it okay now? Let me know if you have any issues on my mic. I can see levels coming through, so we should be fine. Ijaz, keep up the good work on the live update. Appreciate you. How do you think Cardano can go? Again, like all these altcoins, it doesn't matter, right? It really doesn't matter right now. Let's focus on the wider markets. I know that sounds horrible because a lot of you tune in to kind of know, oh, what's Phantom doing? What's Cardano doing? You can look at the individual coins, that's fine in terms of levels to a dip buy. This is the only chart you need to care about. All the others will form the same pattern. Look, I can click all of them, BNB, right? They're all forming similar patterns, just with different gradients based on the risk profile. So just focus on this Bitcoin one. We need to get out of this mess, and then we can see what happens. Pixel Snake, good to see you, buddy. Linde, we spoke about that. Shizzy, Alameda has a short on Tether. Started yesterday. It could save them, but destroy crypto for a long time. Interesting. Can you send us some data about that? I mean, look, I don't like the depegging that's going on here in Tether. I think, we're nearly up to a full percentage point here, which is not good. We've nearly lost a full penny, right? So penny on your pound. Cent on your dollar, get you American. So this is, I don't know, like, why is nobody talking about this? Let's have a search to see if it's just me fudding and misreading information, or if we've caught onto something, because we were speaking about this yesterday, and I was a little bit worried about it. There you go. Tether processed 700 million redemptions in the last 24 hours. No issues. We keep going. They've got to say that, right? They've got to say we keep going. The irony of the Tether co-founder dunking on FTX and benefits of it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if this is true. This is what I initially saw, right? Alameda bought up and acquired 70% of USDT. I don't think they did. Anyone has any evidence around that? Let me know. I really don't think. Vitalik, I have to admit, I've been very critical of Tether in the past, and the transparency is still not nearly what I think an asset-backed coin should be. I agree with that, especially given what's happened. So many other big money hotshots there, they've exceeded. I agree, actually. I thought they would have collapsed a long time ago, but I still don't think they're risk-proof, and I don't think they're where we want them to be. But they are improving, I guess. So maybe we can give them some props for improving, but they need to sort their stuff out, really. Yeah, and I think that's one of the biggest risks to the crypto space, actually, is this Tether collapse. More about that later. Jay saying it's an upward trend on Bitcoin. Yes, for now it is, but everybody's waiting for the CPI reading. If Sam can save FTX or Alameda, which one do you think he would save? I think both save at the same time. I don't think it's a case of saving one and not the other. I think they'll both have to get saved. Awesome. Well said, Lindy. Thank you. You're welcome, guys. Guys, don't forget to smash up the likes. If subscribe, help us get towards 12,000 subscribers here and build a community that can follow this kind of stuff. And look at this. Tether is still falling here. I want you to look at this decimal place here. I don't know if you guys can see it here. 0.990. If we fall another bit there, that's 0.98. Okay, so you've lost a you've lost a cent every time you redeem. So this, I don't know, like, am I just flooding out? I mean, let's look at the daily chart here. You do get these fluctuations occasionally. They have dealt with them, but this one's now deeper. The last one, which was that deep, this one, right? That daily candle. This one went to 0.94, and they covered that. They dealt with that at the time. So I guess it's not huge alarm until we get to kind of 0.94 at this level. But you can't tell me this is not depegging. And if Bitcoin wants to go down again right now after CPI, down to 15,000, this could accentuate. I want you guys to pay attention to this. Don't let anybody tell you you're fudding. Pay attention to this, please. Like, let's tweet. This together, and you guys can help me go retweet. Tether. Cool. Tether is worrying me, Steve. I know, and I guess not many people are talking about it, which is really weird. I'm just going to put the warning out there. Maybe I'm wrong. Look, I'm happy to own I'm wrong, but look at this. We've now gone into 0.98. Look at this on this chart. This is falling, right? I don't think I'm losing the plot. Let me know if I am. I have been spending a lot of time in front of my screen. How did I move myself up there? I don't remember doing that. Go back over there. Sometimes no sound from you. I think this mic is like... Sorry, guys. Mic is really annoying. Can you hear me clearly, though, now? Can you hear me now? Oh, so it's not when I'm turning. That's odd. I'm seeing levels here. Boom. Boom. Maybe it's just low. Notch it up a bit. How about now? Huge move, exposure. Yeah, this. I'm watching this Tether thing, guys. I think this is going to be the next story. Keep an eye on this. This could be really interesting, to be honest. Yeah, it can be just a lack of liquidity. You do have to check the other exchanges. I understand there's not a full depegging, but what I'm saying is if you go and look, there was one moment we've had a worse Tether score than this. That was that May when they actually did have a decoupling. So if we recover from it, forget it, that's fine. Like, you've had a couple of days here where it's happened. I'm not freaking out, but I'm saying, like, if that's doing that now when Bitcoin's at 16,000, what's going to happen when Bitcoin goes to 15 or 14? You know? DCS asking, where's my Twitter? At Real Ijaz1. So it's at Real Ijaz1 for my Twitter. Exactly. It's a bigger depeg, and that's why I'm worried. Now, yes, it could just be that pairing, and if I look at it here, I can't get many other good charts. That's the problem. Here. This is on Bitstamp. See, that's falling as well, unless I'm going blind. I'm seeing that fall as well. So it's trending in this direction, right? So Bitstamp hit a low on that candle of 0.97. Right, so it is a painful storm. These are the things we need to keep an eye on, and it's not just Tether, guys. Do not be like, I don't want you guys to just unnecessarily FUD, but you need to be prepared. Like, when you go through these winters, you got to prepare yourself for sudden pain, and sudden pain means exchanges could go into difficulties. Certain places where you've got your money locked up could go into difficulty. Things like BlockFi, Nexo, these platforms. I don't want to spread FUD, but I want you guys to be sensible. Really important that you. Stuart, this is worse according to CoinMarketCap. Let's check CoinMarketCap. What they're saying for Tether? See, it is falling. I have to keep an eye on it. Mark says, "What a storm! It is indeed. Look at the Ether scan. It's good sound. Gareth Jones, I moved to BUSD last night. Chizzy, sound is perfect for me. They are fussing you. As always, very clean, no nonsense, and important, honest information. Appreciate you, RH. Thank you very much. Guys, don't forget to smash up the likes. There's a bunch of you in here. Still haven't hit that like button. Maybe I need to give you better content for you to hit the like button, but I'm just not sure what else you guys want. Avax has not dropped like so. What do you think about it? Why would Avalanche fall as much as Solana? It won't. Solana is the one directly linked to Alameda and Sam Bankman-Fried. So Avalanche will fall in line with the rest of the market, right? So I wouldn't expect it to fall. Solana. The 1 year chart on CoinMarketCap. Check May 12th date. Look. Yeah, exactly. Look at that. That's the May the 12th we're talking about. We saw that. Then look at what you're seeing now. I'm not losing it. I'm pretty sure I'm not losing it. I can definitely, if we go year to date, the biggest one of the year. Just, I don't know. They've had worse situations in the past. 2017. I don't remember that person. Yeah. I wonder why they're ignoring it. Another search on Tether. There's nobody else worried about it. Why has Tether depegged? Someone doesn't want to wait for your promised redemptions. And this is what happens, guys. When it starts to depeg, like let's say it's at 99 cents to a pound, people just take it out. They'll take their 1% loss, right? And then it creates a cascading effect. More people want to redeem. It's a bank run on Tether, right? Now, Tether, it's the exact same thing as FTX, right? Tether will say, no, if we got 68 billion of Tether minted, we've got that much on our balance sheet to pay for it. So fine, right? Look at their market cap, 69 billion, right? So if we're giving out 69 billion, we've got 69 billion on our balance sheet, we'll be fine. The reality is, how liquid is that? How quickly can they get access to that? Let's do that together. Tether assets. Currency. What you can do is you come to Tether website, and they could do better than this, but I have to accept this for now. Here. So here, if you look at their current balance and click on reports and reserves, this is what I want you guys to focus on. And we've made plenty of videos on this before. So of the money, in fact, let's start here first. Current balances. Come to the bottom. Okay, so the total assets, 69 billion. So they've got 69 billion of stuff on their balance sheet. The liabilities, 69 billion, are how many Tether they've given out, right? They've given out Tether, they've minted Tether, 69 billion. And so they're saying we've got 190 here as a cushion, million, right? As a cushion. Okay, fine. But what I want you to focus on is when you come into reports and reserves, the 69 billion of assets they've got on their balance sheet, not sat there. This is the problem. It's not sat there as Tether waiting for you guys to do a run on the bank today. So when you get a run on Tether or a bank, right, same with fractional reserve banking, and you ask for your Tether back, they've got to keep giving you dollar. But if 69 billion Tether was redeemed today, they fundamentally couldn't do it. Now, what that number is exactly, I don't know, because the reality, they say they've got 80% in cash and cash equivalents. Right? But that includes other short-term deposits and commercial paper. You can't just unwind your commercial paper straight away. They've got 12% in money market funds. So if you break down this bit, the cash and cash equivalents, they show you what it is, right? 54% is in US Treasury bills, so they have to unwind that. 10% is in cash and bank deposits, so that is easily available, fine. 12% is in market money funds. Again, they can't get it out quicker. Commercial paper stuck 15%. Then they've got other investments. So 8% straight away of the 69 billion is in other digital tokens. Yeah, so they're taking your money and they're putting it in digital tokens. And then people don't understand what leverage is, what greed is, what rehypothecation is. Like, this is the big issue with crypto. I can keep shouting at the chimney, but you guys have to spread this message, right? You guys have to clip this stuff and spread this message. Otherwise, nobody's going to hear this stuff. And I've been harping on about it for a year. We're a small channel here. We've got to talk about this. We've got to make this a conversation because this is not okay. Why do we not have one good exchange which doesn't send our funds out? Binance say they have enough cash on the side and they don't use customer funds. Okay, right? Why can't we have one good stable coin where one for one that cash is left there purely in cash? Why? Why does everybody have to be greedy? Because they want to make money on their 69 billion. On your 69 billion, they want to make money. How they make money, right? They've got 5% in secured loans, 5% in corporate bonds. Corporate bonds are risky, guys. Corporate bonds, not government bonds, corporate bonds. So that's enough about Tether, guys. I mean, look, we'll keep an eye on it. Nobody's wanting about it right now. A little bit concerned. And this is without Bitcoin going down to 14,000. Without Bitcoin going to 10,000, which is an 85% retracement. So has Tether stress tested for 85% retracement? What's your Twitter ID? I'll put it up in the chat. It's at RealIjaz1. Please do go follow me. Look, Steve says, look at the MACD line for Tether on the daily. Huge sharp downward move. Yep, not surprised. Alameda is shorting Tether via curve. Lemaine, can you tweet me some evidence on that, please? What's the score with Ripple? I dumped mine last night at a loss. Don't follow Ripple too much, to be honest, guys. We've just got to press the market, and they got the case on top of their shoulders. No immediate way out of pain here. RH, good to see you're giving insights about the religious perspective on things. Look, it's not about religion. It's just about what are the right things to do. A lot of people ask me, why do I not short? Yes, one, it's a religious thing. But two, I wouldn't short anyway. And trust me, like, I do not, like, in anything in my life, I do not want to become successful by knocking others down. There is no value to me. Like, if I want to be the best footballer in my football team, I don't want to do so by handicapping the rest of the players by breaking their legs. That doesn't make me the best footballer. It gives me no fulfillment, which is why so many rich people today have no fulfillment, because they do so via nefarious means. You will never have peace doing that. You'll never feel a sense of achievement or success because you know you cheated. When you go to bed, you know you cheated. Your billions will not give you comfort. Earn millions, but do so in the right way. It's far better than earning billions the wrong way, cheating, lying, scamming your way to the top. Right? It gets you nowhere. So me shorting, I don't feel good. I'm not going to short FTX. Why should I short FTX, make $1,000, $2,000, $10,000, $100,000 with people's life savings are sat on that side and they could have survived if I didn't short them? There's no peace in that for me. Stuart, look at the volatility in the market now between BUSD and USD pairs. Market's getting wild. Yes, because people will move their USDT to USD, and Tether's got to keep redeeming. Tether's done this before. They've just got to pull out and keep redeeming. Really important. Really important. Tether is a good topic. You're early. People should be concerned. Yes, guys, please cut this up and share it. SEC won a case against Library. Yes, we covered that off the other day. Jason, good man, bro. Everybody, hit the like button. You're right, RH. We do need to hit the like button. Jalal, you're absolutely right. Steve says, I like that philosophy. I think we should all have that philosophy. SBF should go to jail. And look, guys, and it's the same thing for YouTube influencers, right? There's so many influencers out there making so much money off you guys losing money, right? And look, you could do that and you could build a big channel, but what's the point? There is no point, right? What this is about is giving you guys the content that you need. And as soon as I'm not providing that content, I'll stop making content. Simple. Simple, simple, simple. Yep, real bad. Let's come back over. I'm going to jump off soon because I'm going to take an hour to rest my vocal cord. Come back for CPI. So, guys, I warned this yesterday. Oh, man. Everybody said, oh, you're spreading FUD. Oh, he's spreading FUD. No, why are you spreading FUD? Nothing's wrong with Tether. Have we not learned our lesson? You know when somebody says you're spreading FUD? Research that thing more. Because that's the ultimate like get out cause. It's like you're spreading FUD. Like it doesn't make sense. Crypto Soul Man, conscience, love to see it. Clearly you've got one, buddy, in the soul. Crypto Soul Man. Yeah, so anytime people say FUD, like just dive double deeper into that, guys. Like Tether's, this is Tether's biggest weakness. Now on this, it could cause some more pain in the markets. And it's not just Tether. Like I said, exchanges and projects. Exchanges and projects. We're gonna find out this is gonna unwind. Anybody telling you, oh, look, we're in the green now, we're good? No. Look at it. TRX momentally surges 4,000% on FTX. Ridiculous. Like, FOMO is FOMO, guys. People are going to FOMO. That's what they do. They do. That's not going to end well for TRX anyway. Up 4,000%. Lost it. Oh, look. Oh, look. Look who's come and posted. Tether's USD stablecoin slips from $1 peg. We said this yesterday. Oh no. Oh, just a bug on CoinGecko. Like they nearly fooled us, guys. Where is he? Let's find him. Paolo. So this is what happened yesterday when we were live streaming. I said, look, there's an issue. And went to this guy. That's the CEO of this CTO Tether. Now, obviously, I'll check it, but I don't always want to believe he says verbatim. But if you go on over what you can see here, We're seeing a price discrepancy on CoinGecko, and then CoinGecko came out. He probably pressured them to say, "Oh, fix your bug," and he says, "Yeah, there was a bug." Well, there's something more to that, guys. There's something more to that, and we are seeing a bit. Interesting to see CoinDesk now covering it. They say USDC usually trades between 0.999 and 1.01. And now we've fallen. So look at this. So data from Kraken, Binance, Coinbase, OKX stablecoin currently trading in 0.992. Remember, we've now seen this fall to 0.98. 0.98 is my latest reading on the Coinbase exchange. Look at this. We're currently at 0.983. Okay, so 0.983. Carry on seeing what this is there. USDC previously reached such spikes during the Maze implosion. Oh, we're ahead of CoinDesk. We might as well work for CoinDesk, guys. We're doing all the work for them. Maybe they're watching our live stream. Is anyone in CoinDesk in the chat here? Guys, smash that likes if you appreciate this live content. A representative from Tether told CoinDesk in the Tether Global was unexposed to fine. I'd like to confirm this time Tether has no credit towards. It's not about credit. It's about, do you have the ability to give the redemptions when people want their money back? People are scared. They want their money back. It's not to do if you have exposure or not. People just want to get their money out of crypto right now. They want to put it on a hard wallet, or they even want to cash out. They're fed up with crypto right now, right? So you need to be able to redeem the Tether back to these people. Obviously, you can't, because as established, you've put it in government bonds, you put it in corporate bonds, you put it in other digital tokens. So yes, you can to a certain extent, but we don't know what extent. What extent can you, like, how many billion, if this many billion was redeemed today, could you fulfill? What's that number? We don't know, right? We don't know. Jason says, shattered. Spot on, buddy Barney. Good to see you. CZ gave SBF a cavity search, then the big one. Exactly. CZ smart. CZ knows what he's doing. I said it. He had no intention of buying it. He wanted to see the books. He wanted to see what they're up to. And within half a day, he was out of there. He looked at the books. I don't want to touch it. It's nasty. Went. Right. What are your plans for the Solana bag, Ijaz? Have you sold it? No, I've not sold my Solana bag. Like, it's so insubstantial that I'm not really bothered about it. If I do decide to like revive the bag and buy the dip, I'll let you guys know. But just there. It's just there. I'm not actually. It's the same as how I treated my Luna. I know this sounds really reckless, but remember my philosophy on altcoin. My philosophy on altcoins. This is separate from Bitcoin, Ethereum, by the way. I'd be in a very different situation if this happened to Bitcoin, Ethereum. But with any of my altcoins, Phantom, Algorand, if it's Matic even, Luna at the time, Solana, I'm in a position where if any given one of those fail, I'm okay. It hurt. You feel it. No sleepless nights. That's why I'm so strict and not getting excited. So when Solana was on its hype and I was buying in the low 20s, it was running up to 250, right? I could have easily built my position out, build it out, bid it out, let it be a big part of my portfolio as other YouTubers have done, right? Kept singing from the rooftops about it. There's no value in doing it. Right? Because you've got to keep it at a sensible part of your portfolio. No single project is going to wipe me out. I think a VC fund, just like a VC fund can take a hit and move on, that's what I've got to be able to do. I've got to be able to take a Luna hit. I've got to be able to take a Solana hit and keep chugging along. Just like Sequoia Capital. That's a big fund. They've had to take a 215 million hit on FTX. But they have to budget for that. They have to know that for every one good investment, maybe there's 8, 6, 7 bad investments that go to the downside. Right? So that's how I think. I think of altcoins like VC funds. I know it sounds silly, but I do not expect every single one to work out. I don't. But that's where people go wrong. They think altcoins are like blue chip companies. They're not. You know, your altcoin is not the same as Tesla. Your altcoin is not the same as Microsoft or Apple or Amazon. It's not. It's an altcoin. Right? You have to treat it like startups. The only difference is startups aren't listed on exchanges where we get this psychological feeling that, oh, they're safe. They're not. These are startups. Just like if you're investing in a bunch of startups on your friend's startup or some acquaintance you met at a coffee shop who's got a startup and you throw him 10 grand, right? They're VC, it's VC fund, it's angel money. I will lose huge if Sol crashes. Yeah, same happened last time when Luna crashed. All people fearing the DPEG, but in the end, all good. Hope so, buddy. It's crazy to think Sol was at like 220 not so long ago. Thank God I didn't FOMO into it. Well done. Speaking of Algo, it is starting to look increasingly a great project. Have been a long-term holder. Yeah, I've been a little bit more impressed with Algorand here recently. Very disappointed Q1, Q2 of 2022. I'm not going to lie. Made it very public in the videos. They've got to improve their marketing. I think they made a few senior management changes. Stacey Warden coming in, a few other pieces. Secured the FIFA deal. World Cup coming up. It's just a shame the wider markets are crashing because I think they really could have benefited from this World Cup period. I think they could have done pretty well. Similar to how Matic was kind of getting a nice run-up. I think they really benefited from that. Yeah. Guys, we're going to jump off here. Please do smash that like. Didn't even get to 100 likes, which is depressing to be more depressing than the crypto market. But yeah, we'll be live in literally an hour from now. So I will see you in an hour. We'll spend 15 minutes just understanding CPI before the reading comes out. So make sure you join me. We'll see the effects on the markets. We'll keep an eye on the Tether DPEG. Make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed. And I'll see you in, yes, the next one.